So guys, let's look what happened with producer surplus when price of the product is decreasing. So let's suppose we have price for, supply for a certain product. We're going to have price 2 over here. Therefore, this corresponds to quantity supply 2, and then the price of the product had decreased. Price 1 over here, we're going to have quantity 1. So it doesn't really matter how we name the price or indicate the price for the product. So we need to extend this line, and we have area A, B, and C. So remember, what we want to know at different price level, how's our producer surplus is changing. So if we're going to start with price 2 level, what is our producer surplus? Remember, at price equals to price 2, producer surplus is the area. Again, this is the area below the price and above the supply curve. So it's going to be everything that is below this price. We met with the supply curve. I'm going to go along the supply curve. So everything that is above this supply curve, and then I'm going to close this triangle along this price line. So therefore, producer surplus is going to be area A plus B and plus C. It's kind of like a puzzle that you need to solve. Now, when the price of the product has decreased to level P1, our producer surplus is going to change, isn't it? So therefore, if price is decreasing to level P1, what is our producer surplus? So remember, again, producer surplus, we're using now P1 level, price, producer surplus, everything that is below the price, everything that is below over here. We met with the supply curve. Okay, I'm going to go along the supply curve, everything that is above this supply curve, and I'm going to close the triangle along the price line. So that's our producer surplus. So producer surplus is going to be area C. Guys, you see that producer surplus has actually decreased, and what happened, we lost this area A and B. So just think about producers. They all the time want to get a higher price for a product. So therefore, when the price of the product is decreasing, producers are going to be worse off. So now we need to explain what is this area A and area B. Okay, so remember, when the price level was price 2 initially, okay, my question is, how many sellers did we have on the market before? And at the price level equal to 2, remember, we assume that each seller is selling only 1 unit. Our quantity that we sold was 120, and therefore we had 120 sellers on the market. Okay, now after the price has decreased over here, so now we only have how many sellers on the market? Only 100 sellers. So just think, guys, these 100 sellers, they were on the market when the price level was P2, and these 100 sellers, they stayed on the market, okay, because they stayed on the market even when price decreased to level P1. Okay, so my question is, why did these 100 sellers stayed on the market? And the answer is going to be this: for these 100 sellers, cost of production is lower than level P1. So for these 100 sellers, the cost of production is somewhere within this actually range. So let's suppose, again, this is going to be $10, this is going to be 15. So this is, let's suppose, starts with 2. Our supply curve actually started with 2. Remember, this price line right now indicates seller's cost of production as well. So therefore, just think about, if I was a seller and my cost of production was 2, okay, so again, do you see I'm falling over here within this initial 100 sellers? For example, I'm seller, second or something like that. If my cost of production was 2 and the price initially was P2 at $15, so my producer surplus, only for me, just one person, producer surplus was, remember, it's price minus the cost. So now price was 15, cost was 2, my producer surplus was $13. Okay, now when the price decreased to $10, am I still going to sell the product? And the answer is yes, because my cost of production is only $2. My producer surplus is going to reduce, but I'm still going to sell. Just think about when the price decreased to $10, price is equal to 10. My cost is still $2. What is my producer surplus? Is only $8. So my point is that we're going to lose this area A in producer surplus due to sellers that stayed on the market now receiving a lower price. Just think about all these 100 sellers, why they stayed on the market? Because their cost of production is somewhere between 2 and 10. They still, when the price decreased to 10, they still going to stay on the market. Just think about if this is cost of $4, this is the seller within this 100 sellers. If this is somebody who has $4.50, this is still within this 100 sellers. So whatever we have over here, so this is 100 sellers that are going to stay on the market. 100 sellers, I'm transposing this line to this area A. Remember, we decrease the price by this $5. So if we're going to take this line and multiply by this line, area A is going to be loss in producer surplus due to sellers that stayed on the market receiving right now a lower price. So area A, it's decrease in producer surplus due to sellers that stayed on the market, receiving a lower price. So, and the last thing we need to discuss, why did we lose area B? So just think about, again, when the price of the product initially was at 15 or P2 level, how many sellers we had on the market? We actually had 120. After we decreased the price to $10, how many sellers do we have? Only 100. What happened with these 20 sellers? What happened with them? They left the market, isn't it? These 20 sellers, they left the market because their cost of production was somewhere between $10 and $15. So their cost of production was somewhere between this, and when the price was $15, they're saying, I can sell. But when the price decreased to $10, they're saying, oh, my cost of production is higher than the price, I'm going to leave the market. Just think about it. This is the line decrease in price. I'm going to transpose this line to this area. And remember, these 20 sellers, they left the market. I'm going to transpose this line to this area. So do you see how it's actually creating this triangle over here? So therefore, area B is going to be loss in producer surplus due to sellers leaving the market after price has decreased. So area B, this is decrease in producer surplus due to sellers leaving the market. So remember, once again, those sellers initially, when, for example, my cost of production, I'm taking one seller, my cost of production was at about $13 and the ongoing price was 15. My producer surplus was $2, isn't it? Remember, I was within this all 120 sellers, I'm sorry. Okay, somebody had cost of production $13.50, still ongoing price is $15. I'm still going to gain producer surplus. Remember, I was within this initial 120 sellers, but I'm also falling within these 20 sellers. You see what I'm saying? Within these 20 sellers, I'm falling over here. So after the price has actually decreased to 10, these 20 sellers, they left the market. Guys, remember, it's all the time going to be with consumer and producer surplus. Triangle, gain or loss in this triangle, it's either producers or consumers leaving or entering the market. And this kind of squared area over here for producer and consumer surplus, this is going to be increase or decrease in producer or consumer surplus due to initial sellers or buyers that were on the market receiving or paying higher or lower price. So depending, once again, if you're looking at, at sellers or at buyers, triangle is all the time somebody is entering or leaving the market, and this square in the middle kind of is going to be due to those sellers or buyers that stayed on the market. They either receiving, okay, lower price sellers, or buyers paying lower or higher price. Okay, that's what you need to know for this video.